Hi everyone, how are you? I just thought I'd come on briefly to talk to you about my upcoming surrender series in 2024. So I'm currently running the Surrender Through Embodiment and Somatic Practices series here in Edinburgh at the Salisbury Centre, and I'm running it again in January. Now I do intend to run it again in autumn for some of you that have been asking, I can't do January, but actually I'd rather do it later in the year. So get in touch with me. I'll put your name down on my list and I'll get in touch with you for the next round later next year. Anyway, I want to talk to you about the upcoming series, the one I'm running right now. For some of you that have gotten in touch and have got questions or maybe aren't sure about exactly what it is. So this next series is running as of January. It's going to run over 4 months. It's once a month on a Saturday for 2 hours, although the last one is a 3-hour session because we do 2 hours of the course, and then I'd like to add an hour of connection and a bit of kind of nourishing embodying of the whole course. So yeah, the series is called Surrendering Through Embodiment and Somatic Practices. And the aim is really to offer everybody who attends an opportunity to reconnect with themselves, to become more aware of what their needs, their boundaries, anything that they'd like to work on in their lives. So I've been working with surrender for quite some time because I think it's a really important topic. So surrender for me is acceptance, it's awareness, it's understanding, it's compassion. And that's what this course is all about. So it's 4 different parts, like I said, and each one covers a different topic. So for me, it's really, really important that we don't only look at practices, so somatic and embodiment practices, somatic being all about working with the body, understanding our nervous system, releasing things that don't serve us, maybe tension, anxieties. For some, it can be working with trauma. And the embodiment is about literally embodying what's going on. So maybe embodying compassion, really feeling it at our core, embodying joy, embodying boundaries, really living those boundaries consequently, clearly, so that they feel right for us. Embodying safety. What does that even mean, to feel safe enough in the lives that we lead? So those are the kind of practice side of things. But for me, it's really important that not only do we have the experiential side, the practices, but also the theory. So you always get a theory base from me. Why are we even doing these practices? Why are they relevant? Why are they important? And certainly the first session is all about looking at the nervous system. There's an introduction to the nervous system, particularly focusing on the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system, so our kind of threat system and the rest and digest system. We're also going to look at things like the window of tolerance, and I've got lots and lots of other theories that I'll be using throughout the course, the series, to help you get more of an understanding of what you need, how to self-regulate, and also what it means to truly surrender and embody that. So a lot of the topics that I cover, I cover so many things, but maybe just some kind of, just to give you an idea. So I've already mentioned it, looking at boundaries. How do we set boundaries in our lives, in our relationships, in the workplace for ourselves, so that we feel safe enough, so that we feel empowered, so that we're able to have our voice heard, but not set a boundary where we then go away and feel guilty for 3 hours, but set a boundary where we feel like, yeah, that felt right for me. I did that in a non-reactive way. I did that in an empowered way. So boundaries is a big topic that keeps coming up for a lot of my clients. So boundaries is in there. Then compassion. So I'm currently doing my compassionate mind training. I bring in a lot of kind of the theory base from compassion focused therapy. So looking at, how is that linked to my nervous system? Why is compassion important for myself, but also how I use it towards others? When does it feel safe? When doesn't it? What are the blocks to compassion? And how powerful it can be when we actually embody compassion. Other areas we look at is, what is trauma? How do we react to trauma? How do we manage trauma? How can we regulate ourselves? How does the body keep the score? We hear that a lot, and that's where the somatic and the embodiment practices come in. And there is so much more. I just wanted to give a really kind of short taster. I know this has ended up being a bit of a longer post than I had hoped. If anyone has any questions, I've still got 3 spaces left. There was 2, one is pulled out, so there's 3 spaces left for the January cohort, I'll call it. I cap it at 8 people. I think it's really important to hold a safe enough kind of container to have 8 beings with myself going through this process. So get in touch with me. I offer a free informal chat about the whole series. For anyone that signs up, you also get, throughout the actual series, you get recordings of all the practices. You get a private YouTube link. You get copies of all the practices as well. If you need it in written form, I can offer that. You get lots of information about current research, information about practices that I've maybe not shown you that you want to try out, resources that I use that I find really helpful and empowering or thought-provoking. I share all of that with you, and you have a kind of lifetime access to that. The idea is that you have this toolkit that you can use moving forward when you've finished the series. Because often we finish a course or something and we're like, and now what? And the idea is actually that you keep working on whatever you've learned. So you get all of that. And you also get, if you wish, before the series starts and during the series, a one-to-one session with me. And that can be on anything that you feel is coming up for you, anything you feel you want to work on. And just as a reminder, I do mindfulness, I do Reiki, I do sound, I do coaching, I do yoga, and of course somatic and embodiment practices. And I'm completely trauma informed, so everything I do is trauma informed, which means you have choices, you have options, you are involved, it's collaborative, it's inclusive, and your voice is heard. Okay, I hope to hear from you. If you're interested in joining me in January, get in touch, and thank you for listening. Take care.